What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the Gobbler Effect, Season 2, Episode number 4 here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. My name is Chris Pierce. Happy to be back with you for another episode, joined today by head coach Joey Mullen, as well as senior netminder for the Virginia Tech Hokies, goalie Ian Kee. As always, gentlemen, how are we both doing on this fine Tuesday evening?
Good. Are you?
All right, well, let's kick it right into high gear as we enter week number 4 of the season, officially October, new month. You guys are coming in off a home weekend sweep of UNC Charlotte. So, Coach, I'm going to start with you this week and say, what was your overall success of that weekend, of that huge two-win weekend over UNC Charlotte?
I mean, I thought we were really consistent in all three phases. Giving up one goal in two games, it's pretty hard to do for anybody at any level. So we actually what we did six, almost seven straight periods of not giving up a goal dating back to JMU. Good defensive run. That's what you like to see, especially getting into like the meat of our schedule. If we can just stay consistent and play good defense, it's going to lead to a lot of offense for us.
Yeah, you guys outscored Charlotte 16-1 in both of those games. How impressed are you by this team's offense so early this far in the season?
It's actually nice. We've historically been a slow starting team. Even just game to game, we've already started slow. And so this year we've kind of come out and outscored most teams in the first period, which has been nice. It's a lot easier playing with the lead. If you look back to the NC State game, all the goals were scored in the first period and both teams settled in and gave up nothing. You check out JMU and then it was 1-0 us. Then it was 4-4. So we're still putting up four goals the first two periods, and then we just outskated them in the third. And then a lot like this weekend, we started off hot in both periods and just didn't stop.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have a plus 18 point differential, scoring differential in 4 games so far. And I mean, accounting to that is the net minding. Ian, 3 games so far, perfect 3-0 record. And then you had Tucker, who started on Saturday, pitching that one goal allowed in that win over UNC Charlotte. How important is it for you to have such reliable goalies so far as you enter some tough competition coming up? I mean, this goes for either
Uh,
one.
well, I think this is a little bit formulated towards coach here. He's the one making the game day decision. So go ahead.
I mean, it's nice. I mean, we kind of saw this in tryouts, and we thought like if we could have basically a three-headed monster back there in net, like it would make it easy for all three of them. I think we've had good talks, so they kind of know what the game plan is going forward. They're going to push each other every night in practice. They push each other every game, so I think it's just going to make all three of them better. Even with Sully, like Sully's come such a long way in the couple years he's been here with us. Uh, it's amazing to see the jump he's made, and it's just awesome. He's just a great kid. So we have four capable goalies to play. Like I'm pretty confident putting anybody out there.
Yeah.
So it's been fun. It makes it easy for me, but hard for me because like I know eventually at some point in the season I'm gonna have to pick the hot hand and kind of ride them, and hopefully it's all three of them. And we just keep rolling them.
Yeah, especially and for you, Ian, now in your fourth season with the Hokies, how has this season specifically been different from the others?
I think this year I'm a little bit more mentally strong than I have been in the past. Sophomore year I went through a little bit of a slump, where I just like could not win a game to save my life. And last year was all about building that confidence back up. I had some good games back to back, got my first shutout. And then this year, I'm just coming in a little bit more mentally prepared every single game. And, the added defensive help this year just really makes the game a little bit more simple.
Yeah. I mean, going back to that shot, you had a shutout last year against Rowan, 4-0 win. This year, have a shutout in your third game started, beating UNC Charlotte 7-0. How, what makes this team fun to play on? I know you and the guys are tight and close knit. What makes it fun to play with the guys that you know and respect heavily?
You're saying like you don't gotta love to win, you gotta hate to lose, and I just hate losing. And we're a team full of guys who just want to like achieve the top that we all want, and we just want to get the championship at the end of the day. And the main goal is getting to the natties. So I think this is the group that can do it. We got a good defensive core, and we got obviously a good offense. Our top six guys, they're awesome, and even our bottom six guys, they're all rolling. And like talking about Stang's line, like how I was during the interview, during the game. I mean, they're on a roll, man. Like Kubi and them, they're absolutely just one of our top lines right now. Just hustlers every single time they get on the ice.
Yeah, and I mean, going on that, you mentioned you have an explosive offense, an aggressive defense. I mean, on Saturday's game, you only had to face what, 8, 10 shots. I mean,
Yeah.
how easy is it for you to have this team in front of you play, and what does that mean for your confidence heading into the season?
It makes it a little bit more simple for me, like I've been saying in the past. If you have a defense that can really play in front of you, that communicates with you, and can kind of keep the shots to the outside and less from the middle. Last year we had a little problem. Just keep like we had the entire slot just wide open every time. When we play NC State, almost all their goals were coming either back door or right in front of the slot, and they would just lace it out in front and they just rip it in. And this year it's a little bit different. We're keeping the shots to the outside. I can see the puck. I think some of the big goals that I've let in this year, I think I've let in more screened goals than I have any other goal this year. And against JMU and against NC State, where the games I gave up goals, um, yeah, they're like mostly all screened goals, and like just communicating with our defense as we get in further into the year. This is going to become a little bit more simple for me.
And you, as now a senior, you have Tucker coming in, who's a freshman. How have you mentored Tucker to face this level of competition, coming into the club level? How have you prepared him to what he's going to have to face in the future?
So he came from a pretty good program. So his program was a big competitor of mine, back from where I'm from in Northern Virginia. And so I think that kind of helped him prepare a little bit. I didn't have to do too much mentoring. This kid's got a good head on his shoulders, and he works hard in practice, and he pushes everybody, and we all push each other. All the goalies, Cook and I, and Sully, we've been working our butts off. But I mean, bringing this kid in too also makes us want to work our butts off even more, just to stay on the ice.
Yeah. And, being a senior, this is your final year with the Hokies. What has been the most important? Let's say what's the most important lesson you've learned in your time with the team? And what do you want your legacy to be when it's all said and done?
I think the most important lesson that I've learned playing in the ACHA in general is just like, the goalies just you got to be mentally strong the entire time, because sometimes you're just not going to have defensive help. Um, Coming from a program where we won a national championship, and I had defensemen just like laying their bodies on the line every single time. And now that we're starting to get that now this year, but in the past, defensive help was a commodity. I think this year we got it going, and our defenseman is there. I think my legacy, I want to leave a positive legacy. I want to win a championship here. Obviously, I want to be known as one of the better goalies to come through the program. We have some good goalies that have come into the past, like Tanner Jones, one of my old goalie coaches, who came in through here, and he convinced me to come to school here. Um, I want to be among those guys, and that's what I want my legacy to be.
No, and let's hope that we can, maybe bring a natty home. That's the end goal. Coach, back to you. I mean, not only are the goalies and the offense doing jobs, but as Ian mentioned, the defense as well. How impressed are you by this group of defenders in that, it doesn't matter what set you put together, what three lines you put together, they just gel and work and, at the end of the day, provide a great chance for you to win every night.
I mean, it's been really nice because we've had 4 freshmen already play back there this year. So knowing that you can roll out freshmen all the way up through seniors, any combination, like Teo and Max have just instantly clicked and become a pretty dynamic force back there. Kevin's playing with JH, another freshman. It's just, I mean, he's a little older, but he's still a freshman, still new to this, and they just click. You got Brian Rice, who's played really well in the couple games he's been in. Drew comes in this weekend and scores a goal and a couple assists in his first game. We have another freshman that's a couple weeks away that we like too. He'll be 18 in a couple weeks and he'll be able to join us. So I mean, it's nice, it's easy. When you can throw 7 guys out there every night, you don't have to worry about, oh, do I have to hide a defenseman, or we're playing a team that's fast. Let's not play this guy. Like, they're all good. All 12 that we have are good. Like, I trust pretty much any one of them to put out there any game. Same with their forwards. 6 lines of forwards. I can roll them any combination I want to. Like, we played Ethan Kamen's line the other night. They come out and have like 3 goals, 7 assists. Like, they just lit it up. Like, so, I mean, it's nice having that luxury to, if someone's hurt, if someone's sick, if someone's got to miss, like, you're not skipping a beat throwing someone else in there.
Yeah, I mean, 2 points to that. I mean, one, I mean, on Saturday's game, you saw that all four lines scored in, less than 2 periods of play. I mean, it's just amazing this like combination of, it doesn't matter who you put where. I mean, there's a great chance of scoring happening right there. And I also want to segue into the rookies because, you were talking about that a little bit. I mean, words can't explain how incredible they performed so far. I mean, all 9 skaters that you put out, they've all collected a point so far. In fact, 35% of the total team's points have come from rookies. I mean, that's just incredible. I mean, I know, and I ask you this question every week, but like, how impressed are you by these rookies? And I mean, what does that say about the direction that this program is heading?
I mean, I think we're recruiting the right type of player. Like, you know, like, it's not always like the best player. Like Herb Brooks said it best. Like, you're not looking for the best ones, you're looking for the right ones. Like, so we want someone that's going to come in and fit our locker room because that makes it easy too. Kid could put up 100 points, but doesn't get along in the locker room. It's just going to ruin the team. So these kids have all bought in from the beginning. Like, look at Zach Stewart. We loved him in tryouts. Didn't realize he was going to be great. I thought he was going to be all right. He's going to be a really good two-way center. He's going to fill that third center role, what we were looking for. And he comes out this weekend, has 5 goals. So I mean, he can put up offense given the opportunities, which is great because you're balanced attack now. So now teams are having to plan for all 4 lines instead of in the past. It was a lot of, all right, we got to take away Cam and Doozy because they're the ones putting up all the points. But now when it's getting spread out and you got 12 guys that can put the puck in the net, it's gonna make it hard for people to pregame and plan for us.
You're just segueing right into my next points, and it's just amazing. Talking about, all phases of the game. I want to talk about specifically special teams and going perfect on the penalty kill this past weekend. Did struggle a little bit on the power play, though, didn't really get that many chances. Camp Kazai scoring 2 shorthanded goals this past weekend. Now makes history as now he holds the program record for most shorthanded goals and a doozy most shorthanded points. What do you think contributes the most to the success overall about how this team plays when they're a man down or when they're at even strength, when they're on the power play? I mean, what is how how do I want to phrase this? What is the overall, I guess, contribution of this team to how they play night in and night out?
I guess the crazy thing with Cam and Doozy is their hockey IQ. So they just read the plays so well. They read off each other. They have from day one. So I mean, you think about it. Cam's got like 4 or 5 goals this year. 3 of them are shorthanded.
Yeah.
He has just got a gear that not a lot of other players have. So when you get the puck on his stick, he's kind of gone. Like, if you look at Cam's shorthanded goals, he's got 6. Doozy's got all 6 assists. Like, it's just one of those things. Like, they've just clicked. These guys buy in. Like, they're blocking shots in practice. Like, last night was a great practice. Like, it was up and down the ice, blocking shots, banging bodies. Like, they all bought in. They're all fighting for a spot every week to get into the lineup, and it's fun. It's making it hard for me, but that's how it should be.
Yeah, I know. On the pregame show, Kyle and Jordan were talking about how many points the combination of Doozy and Kazai were going to get by the end of October, and they were saying somewhere around like 35 points. I'm like, maybe 40. I'm thinking a little higher than that. I mean, they're just so dynamic when they're on the ice together. But I want to go now, move ahead to this weekend. You guys have a roadie. You got Stevenson coming up. You guys travel to Maryland. This team, this is for both of you guys, these next 2 questions. This team, similar to how Charlotte was last week, going to look to spoil you guys the road trip. What have you seen on tape from this team, and what is the game plan for at least game 1 on Friday?
I think a little bit is they're gonna be pretty similar to JMU. Played a tight game with them, beat them last weekend. I think we know what to expect for the most part. Coach Milford watched their game, broke it down for me. So we got some stuff we're gonna put in tomorrow night for the game. I don't want to say too much, but I think we'll be prepared. I think the power play will be well prepared. I think we just play our system, play consistently, and as long as we stay out of the box, it's going to be tough to hang with us for a 60-minute game.
Yeah, so I think, honestly, just goalies in general, just coming in mentally prepared to play. And I think we're going to be ready. I think offensively, we've been firing off on all cylinders. So I'm not too sure. I haven't really watched that much game film on them yet. But if they're similar to JMU, they got some scoring potential. And, so we just got to prepare for that and, play our hearts out when we go out there and get away with two W's at the end of the weekend.
I mean, you guys faced Stevenson twice last year. You won both matchups at home. You face them again this year away at their place. But they don't have their head coach, Mike Ergo. He, staple of the Stevenson program for the last 11 years, stepped away this past off season. Obviously, you got a new coach put in. So, what are you expecting from this newly coached Stevenson squad? Are you like, if you faced a team previously that, are coming in with a new, regime or, a new strategy compared to what you played before. What, from your past experience, are you expecting this to be from this Stevenson team?
I mean, it's hard. There's such a turnover in college hockey. So, I mean, I've checked out their roster. They're probably about 40% new guys. So you're not going to know much on them. They've only got one game out there to watch so far. That's a lot of the issue. Like not everybody streams their games. So it's hard to sometimes get tape on guys and teams early in the year. So luckily we got one. Colin's pretty good at breaking down stuff film wise. So he's been nice to bring in here and really contribute that way too. Um, I think you're going to see a pretty structured team. I think they'll play with the new coach a simple game. I don't think you're going to see anything fancy, especially it's their fourth game of the year, so it's kind of early for them. They'll just want to keep it simple. I think they'll play a lot of dump and chase and try to wear us out. So as long as we play a good possession game and have them chasing, we should be able to wear them out going into the third.
Yeah, just piggybacking off of what Coach Mullen said there. Every team's different every single year in the ACHA, and you can't really count on consistency unless you're like UNC or NC State. So I think we just got to come in mentally prepared to play a team like NC State, and we play hard like that every single period. We're just going to dust them. So,
Yeah. Well, last question. So as we now enter October, the guys are getting into a good stretch of games here. Has this team's goals now changed from when you first, all the way back in September? Are you now thinking bigger after seeing how this team's played 4 games? Is there more of a focus toward a certain area? What are you guys thinking?
I mean, I think the goals are always the same. You come in every year, fresh year. You want to first of all win your division, win the ACC. You want to make regionals, and then you want to have that chance to go to nationals. And I think we were kind of putting people on notice the way we started the season that hey, we're for real this year, and people better be ready.
so I think this year is a little bit different than it has been in past years. I think this year you're seeing a lot of guys this year just they're fighting for ice time now, whereas last year you're seeing guys who would play all the time just because we had to play them all the time. So now with guys like fighting for ice time, I think it's a little bit more competitive. The goals are always the same. Always good natties, but I think it's a little bit more attainable this year. I think we have the team to do it, and I think that if we keep everything simple, play hard nosed hockey, I think we can do it.
Well, I mean, as I say every week, I mean, I just get more and more excited to see how this team plays out each season. I mean, and the results just don't disappoint at all. And I'm excited to see where this team heads. You got some tough competition coming up in the next couple of weeks with, Ryder, West Virginia, and Maryland back to back to back. But again, that we'll see how that goes. But that'll do it for episode number 4 of the Gobbler Effect here on the Virginia Tech Hockey Network. Don't forget to like and subscribe here on the channel, as well as click on the notification bell and for live stream and content updates this season. Ian, Coach Mullen, thank you again for joining us. And folks, don't forget to tune in this weekend as the Virginia Tech Hokies go on the road to take on the Stevenson Mustangs. You can watch the game live or on Live Barn, I believe is where the game will be streamed. Yep. Starting at 8 o'clock on Friday. Well, until next time, we'll see you later. Go Hokies.